Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
The Jack Welch Management Institute at Strayer University helps you go from, I know the way, to I've arrived with our top 10 ranked online MBA. Gain skills you can learn today and apply tomorrow. Get ready to go from make it happen to made it happen and keep striving. Visit strayer.edu/Jack Welch MBA to learn more. Strayer University is certified to operate in Virginia by Chev and has many campuses, including at 2121 15th Street North in Arlington, Virginia.
Welcome back to our Sunday bonus episode, where I share an article with you from a different podcast in our network. Today's episode's coming from Optimal Relationships Daily. So with that, here's Greg with the post and commentary as we optimize your life.
The Most Important Decision in Life by Nick Maggiulli of ofdollarsanddata.com. The best economics class I ever took in college was called Market Design. The class was all about the markets that do not involve an explicit exchange of money. Most markets we participate in are not like this. For example, if it starts to rain and you need an umbrella, you can walk into a store and get it for about $5 to $10. You want a new television? That'll set you back about $500. A diamond ring? About $15,000. You get my point. You give someone money and they give you goods and/or services. But some of the most important markets we participate in are not like this. You can't exchange money to make these markets function. For example, if the most annoying person on earth wanted to be your roommate, you probably wouldn't accept any amount of money to live with them. They couldn't pay you enough for the future misery and hardship. The same goes for relationships. While having money can make someone seem more attractive, it doesn't usually overcome other factors, such as looks and personality. You can't just give someone $10,000 or $100,000 and make them fall in love with you. You might be able to get them into bed with you, but you cannot buy their legitimate desire and companionship. These kinds of markets are called matching markets, and they will have a bigger impact on your long-term happiness than any traditional market ever will. And the most notable matching market is the dating market. It's who we decide to spend our life with, and possibly who we have children with. It is the most important decision of our lives, and I can't even think of what's second. As I've written about before, the quality of your relationships will affect your lifetime happiness more than just about anything else. And your partner, i.e. the person you will spend the most time with, is a significant part of that equation. This doesn't mean that you can't be happy as a single person, but there is some research suggesting that married individuals are marginally happier than their single counterparts. As a result, I've been thinking a lot more about the dating market recently and how it impacts our lives. As a single 31-year-old male living in New York City, I have a feel for this market, and I'm convinced that most people don't spend enough time and resources on this area of their life. They don't treat it with the weight that it deserves. For example, I've heard complaints from my male and female friends alike that dating is time-consuming, expensive, and emotionally draining. Yes, it definitely can be. But consider the upside if you get it right, and ask yourself, how much does that really matter? I mean, let's reframe how we think about this. Imagine we turned dating from a matching market into a traditional market. How much would you be willing to pay for a lifetime of happiness, great companionship, and a wonderful family? I would argue that most people would be willing to pay a lot. For those that currently have this in their life, they would probably easily give up 10 to 20% of their net worth to keep it, if not more. Technically, some people have to give up 50% of their net worth when they get this decision wrong. So 10 to 20% of your net worth is a bargain, if you ask me. So, how can you complain that dating is expensive or time-consuming when it is literally one of the best trades you can make in your life? Oh, you had to spend $50 on drinks and nothing came of it? It happens. You set up dates that eventually fell through? Yeah, that's unfortunate, but these costs are small compared to the possible upside. There are very few areas in life where the asymmetry between the costs and benefits are so pronounced. This is why I think most single people who are looking for a partner should spend much more time and energy in this area of their life. From this framework, you can see why it doesn't seem as crazy to pay for a dating app or even a matchmaker. While originally I thought that it was silly, given the cost-benefit ratio, I now understand why paying for these kinds of services can make sense. Of course, I'm not a dating expert. I'm probably average at it at best. But I do think a lot about risks, trade-offs, and investing. And some of the best investments in life don't have a ticker symbol. They can't be found in the Wall Street Journal. They aren't something that can be bought or sold. As I've gotten older, I've started to realize the importance of these kinds of decisions, and I regret not investing even more in them when I was younger. I regret not paying more attention to values earlier in a relationship. I regret not being as cognizant about what I want. I get that this is a learning process, but it's always so difficult looking back and realizing your mistakes now. How could I have been so foolish? How did I not realize what was staring me right in the face? It reminds me of the time I attended an admit party 6 months before going to college. For the uninitiated, an admit party is when all the high schoolers who got into a particular university get to meet with the recent alums and ask them questions about their experience. During my admit party, I asked every alum I met the exact same question. What do you regret the most about your college experience? You know what they all said? I wish I'd met more people. Every single one. They all said the same thing completely independently of each other. It was like a sign from God to an 18-year-old me. Talk to lots of people in college. Meet as many as you can. But you know what my biggest regret from college is? Not meeting more people. I was quite social, but definitely not as social as I could have been. I should have played in the marching band. I should have been in more clubs. And though I didn't have the money at the time, I should have taken out a loan to join a frat. Sometimes we can know the right answer and still make the wrong choices. It reminds me of that time Stanley Druckenmiller lost $3 billion in 6 weeks betting on tech stocks during the dot-com bubble. He said, "You asked me what I learned? I didn't learn anything. I already knew that I wasn't supposed to do that." End quote. So, please trust me on this and make sure that you get the most important decision of your life right. And if you already got it right, make sure to keep investing in it every single day. You won't regret it. You just listened to the post titled, "The Most Important Decision in Life" by Nick Maggiulli of $dollarsandData.com.
Imagine you're a business owner who has to rely on a dozen different software programs to run your company, none of which are connected. And each one is more expensive and more complicated than the last. It can be pretty stressful. Now imagine Odoo. Odoo has all the programs you'll ever need, and they're all connected on one simple, easy-to-use platform, giving you peace of mind that your business is always being taken care of from every angle. Odoo has user-friendly, open-source applications for everything. We're talking CRM, accounting, inventory, manufacturing, marketing, HR, and everything in between. Basically, if your business needs it, Odoo's got it. Odoo sounds pretty amazing, right? So stop wasting your time and money on those expensive, disconnected platforms and let Odoo harmonize your business with simple, efficient software that can handle everything for a fraction of the price. It doesn't get much better than that. So what are you waiting for? Discover how Odoo can take your business to the next level by visiting odoo.com. That's ODOO.com. Odoo, modern management made simple.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Checking off the boxes on your to-do list is a great feeling. And when it comes to checking off coverage, a State Farm agent can help you choose an option that's right for you. Whether you prefer talking in person, on the phone, or using the award-winning app, it's nice knowing you have help finding coverage that best fits your needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And thank you to Nick for this one. So Nick is a really wonderful writer, as you can probably tell. I highly recommend you check out his site and also tune into Optimal Finance Daily to hear more from him. He's featured quite regularly over there. You can only imagine how much insight he brings to his area of expertise. So I just love this article so much, especially coming from a finance guy. it really is a shame how easy it is to overlook the value of relationships, mostly because they are just so immeasurable, and it's more difficult to make sense of that which we can't, assign hard and often numerical values to. He really illustrated this well today as he analogized and, to me, presented a really great way of quantifying relationships for those who might need the reminder. So look, whether or not you know it, I am going to end this episode reminding you that your relationships are the most important parts of your life. Again, your relationships are the most important parts of your life. Do them justice. You're already doing an amazing job by being tuned into the show. I'm telling you, really absorb these episodes. Take them with you and use the knowledge. It is worth the time and investment. We're going to get going though, folks. I really hope you do leave here believing what you've heard in this article and in my commentary. We're doing amazing things here together, and I'm really happy to have you all aboard. So take care, enjoy your Tuesday, and I'll see you back here tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.